YouTube, what is up? It's AD with US Squads. I hope you're having a kick-ass day. We're really excited today. We've got our hands on Vortex's top-of-the-line tactical rifle scope, and it was very hard to get our hands on this. At SHOT Show 2015, I was able to fondle it and actually finally get my hands on it. Once I got my hands on it, I was really impressed and really wanted to get one in front of me so I can A, do an open box for you guys, and B, put it on a rifle and beta test it. And we were lucky enough that one of my pals was able to acquire one, and not only did we acquire one, he's going to allow us to shoot it for the next month. So we're pretty excited about that. So what we have here is the Vortex Razor HD Gen 2. Pretty awesome. Here it is. It comes in basically two configurations. It comes in 4.5 by 27 by 56 is the model that we have on hand. And then it comes in a little bit lower magnification, 3 by 18 by 50. So a little bit smaller objective lens and a little bit less magnification, but pretty much you're going to get the HD glass. Other than the magnification settings, it's going to be fairly much the same optic. And of course you have the 1 by 6 by 24, which is more of an AR type of platform scope. We're not going to really cover that today. So the Razor HD Gen 2 comes in basically two configurations, MOA and mil radian. And then it's going to have a total of 3 different reticles you can choose from. Let me just see if this camera will pick up the reticles that you can choose from. EBR2C in MRAD and MOA. So basically, it's going to look like this, except have the Christmas tree underneath. See the little Christmas tree settings here for windage. And then you're going to have the EBR1C MRAD, which is what I have. No Christmas tree. I kind of don't like the clutter here. I just want my crosshairs and my subtensions. That's pretty much how I like my optics. So that's kind of it. MSRP on this bad boy is $3,200. And that is a chunk of change. It is Vortex's top of the end and top of the line. So let's, with that $3,200 price tag, I suspect that we're going to get a lot of features for that amount of money. Keep in mind, Vortex also has their VIP super warranty, and basically it's an unconditional promise to you. They will replace it absolutely free no matter what the cause. Unlimited, unconditional, and lifetime. And I wouldn't say abuse this policy, but could you take this $3,000 scope and throw it off a cliff? The answer is probably yes. And as long as you're able to get the pieces back to them, they'll probably replace it. I'm not going to say go do it, but what I'm going to say is that's what I heard you could do. Okay, here's the box. Not much to it, just kind of this like platinum color tannish. And then on the side, you're going to have the model number, the magnification, and the actual reticle that's on the scope. So with that, let's get to it. Inside is pretty much not much to it. Team Vortex sticker. Past inspection, a little thank you card for spending $8 billion on the scope. Basically, they're recommending that you properly torque and mount your high-end scope, which you definitely want to do. Those instructions are simply on their website. You're going to have a Vortex little microfiber cleaning cloth, which comes with pretty much, I think, every Vortex you buy. Reticle manual, and you're like, well, why is there a reticle manual? Well, this is a first focal plane scope, and basically it's going to explain the reticle that you have, the subtensions, what they mean. It's going to have a how to range your target formula. And keep in mind a quick example of what first focal plane versus second focal plane is basically what they've done is they've moved the reticle closer to the windage and elevation turrets on the scope. So at any magnification, the subtensions on the reticle are precise. In a second focal plane scope, that reticle is only accurate at the max magnification. So as you're floating in lower magnification ranges with this first focal plane scope, those subtensions are accurate. For example, I'm shooting at a target at 400 yards and I'm actually on 6 magnification. I can see my hits and misses. And so I can make those corrections using the reticle, and those corrections using the reticle will be accurate at that mid-range magnification. Okay, that's there's YouTube videos, or you can jump on Google and find out more information on that. We're not going to go into first focal plane, but This is a first focal plane scope, which is actually a feature that a lot of precision shooters do want, okay? In this little plastic thingy is an Allen key and a CR2032 battery. This is illuminated. All the Gen 2 HDs are illuminated, so we'll talk about that in a second. And there's this little Vortex tool to help with the LTAC turrets. And when I'm talking about the LTAC turrets, I'm going to explain what those are in just a moment, okay? And then we have a little sunshade here for your scope. I wish they would have included some sort of caps to protect the glass, but that ain't happening, so that's okay. No caps, no problem. So here's the actual optic, and tell me this isn't sexy. Look at this thing. Holy moly. Yeah, that is a sexy, sexy beast. So I'm gonna lay this down and I'm gonna read off some specs to you guys. Once we get the specs out of the way, we're gonna do a little 360 tour, and then I'm gonna give you a little feedback on what I think about it so far. So this is again a first focal plane scope, HD glass, XR plus multi-coated, 3 different reticles that you can choose from. The overall length on this bad boy is about 14.4 inches in total length. That's not with the sunshade on. The turrets are about 2 inches tall. So what's cool about these turrets is they're actually really big in diameter, which is good for grabbing and twisting, but they're not tall, which is kind of a nice feature. This bad boy, one of the talks of this optic is it's hefty. It's heavier than other scopes, but I kind of like hefty. So this thing is 2.9 pounds, 3 pounds almost. So you can basically club somebody with this thing if you wanted to. I carried a 17-pound rifle on the elk hunt. I carried it 32 miles, carried 2 elk quarters out. And I don't care about weight, obviously. Some people do, some people don't. Remember, you guys that are bench press shooting or just shooting on the weekend, you know, yanking your rifle out of your car and walking it 10 feet to your shooting spot, weight's not really going to matter. I think weight's going to matter if you're a hunter like myself. You're going to be carrying it around, hiking it in your backpack, having it on the horses. Weight does add up when you're trying to walk around with a rifle and a backpack. But like I said, I'm used to carrying heavy shit, so I just don't care. 34 mils of elevation, 13 mils of windage. That's for the, I don't know the MOA conversion for that, but basically 3.7 inches of eye relief, which is nice. And then that's it. That's pretty much what we got going on. Keep in mind that this has a 34 millimeter tube, main body tube. So if you have a scope now, most likely, probably you have a 30 millimeter tube. You'll have to make sure you pick up the right scope rings at 34 millimeter and the right height, because this 54 millimeter bell is so big that it could maybe not fit on your rifle if you have a rail that extends past this bell. So just keep in mind you have the right height and the right 34 millimeter rings. Rings won't be cheap, guys. They will cost, I don't know, $150 to start and up to $400 if you want to spend money on some beefy rings. So let's talk about, that's pretty much the specs. So let's go over do a little 360 tour, okay? Here is the magnification ring. Right here, 4.5 to 27. It's pretty tight. I don't know if that loosens up. You can buy a cutie, like a throw lever. I think they're like $80, so you can buy a throw lever to go on there. Here's the eye focus here, diopter focus. Okay. You have the LTAC turrets. Now, how these work is you actually lift them up, and then you put them down to lock them. See that? Up, and then once they're up, you can move them. And I'll tell you what, the clicks on these are pretty awesome. Really awesome. And then it has a 0 stop, so it'll actually go back to 24 MOA, 0, lock it down, you're good to go. Okay. As you can see, this is an MOA version, quarter click MOAs. Windage is the same. And then you have the parallax adjustment here on the left side. And I'll tell you what, this is really nice. All the yardages are numbered, but I'll tell you what, a little side note is just turn this knob till it's focused for your eyes. Just because it says 50 yards doesn't mean 50 yards is going to be perfect for you. Based on how your eye works, that could be the right focus point for 50 yards, or this could be the right yards. So just play with this knob. These are good reference points, but they're not going to be identically accurate. So just focus that until it's crystal clear for you guys. Right here we have the little hidden button, the little whoop. See that? 11 illumination settings. So when you have one being obviously the least bright, and then 11 being the brightest setting, just find a setting that might work for you. This would be more applicable for people hunting low light situations. The dots in between the numbers actually shuts the illuminated reticle off. Okay. And then another side note is make sure you shut it off when you're done, because if you leave it on, it will drain out, and there's no automatic, oops, I left my illumination on. Just turn it to one of the dots, push that in, it's off. This is the access, the battery pack, the battery panel. This is a CR2032 battery. So you just put that in there with the smooth part face up, and that'll be good to go. These other caps is how you access the zero stop, or, well, I don't think I can call it the zero stop, because I think zero stop's a Night Force thing, but basically a zero stop feature. I don't even know a synonym for it, but basically the coolest thing about zero stop-ish features is when you get all messed up from shooting, and you're like, oh crap, I got to reset, you can go all the way down to your bottom, and it will automatically get you back there, so you don't get really confused and messed up. Okay, that's a really nice feature. Okay, so what else is there to talk about? Look at this glass. Ready for it? Woo! Oh, look at that. Are you feeling me? Oh yeah. Anyway, that's pretty sweet stuff. All right, so that is that. Let me show you what it looks like in a mount. This is the Gen 2, not in a mount. My buddy next to me brought over his Gen 2 in a mount. This is a American Defense mount, QD mount, and this is pretty ridiculous. 20 MOA built-in rail, so I can take these on and off, and yeah. So we basically got two here. Yeah. So again, pretty beefy, 3 pounds, with the mount even more. Okay, any questions or comments, let us know. We're gonna get this out in the field. We're gonna beta test them. I've already played around with this one, and it is pretty impressive. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do a attacker, Night Force attacker versus the Gen 2, and see what we think with doing a like couple tests and see what we think about it. Now, it's safe to assume that in this test they're built well, they track well, they're going to be fine that way, but really what we're going to test is some of the features against each other, and then optical clarity, because they're priced pretty much the same. Oh man, I'm so tired. Go to the bathroom real quick.
Let me get out of this box here. I swear AD would sit there and talk forever if he didn't have to take a piss or run out of battery. I've been dying to get my hands on this Gen 2. Let me take a peek at this. Let me look through this glass here, see what I think. And oh man, that shit's clear. I'm liking that. Let's check out these LTAC turrets here. Let's give it a little twisty turn. Oh, the clicks are nice. I am liking what I'm. Hey, Mitch, what are you doing here? Get out of here, Mitch. Blah, blah, Vortex, blah. Night Force is the shit, boy. Night Force attacker. Got your Vortex smoke. What, boy? We'll see what is up. Let's do this shit. Shh, here it comes. Shut up.
Dude, seriously? Freaking kids playing with the my little collection of dudes. Wish these kids would not mess with my shit. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this Vortex Razor HD Gen 2. Wait a minute. Kids can't even get into this room.